Hitmonlee has been an incredibly average Pokemon throughout GCNU's history. Raichu plus Feraligatr metagame, average. Raichu plus Poliwrath metagame, average. The modern metagame, yeah, I'd say it's pretty average these days. Hitmonlee is one of the Pokemon to drop in the 2018 tearing shifts, but it was one of the lesser hype drops, since it dropped at the same time as Primeape, who it heavily competed with. While Hitmonlee does have a higher attack set than Primeape, Primeape's cross chop is stronger due to its higher base power. Primeape has Rock Slide, and Primeape is faster. Hitmonlee's main advantage was its better special bulk, which could let it to set up on Pokemon like Feraligatr easier, but this niche was largely unused. The prominence of Pokemon like Weezing, Pineco, and Xatu that troubled Hitmonlee more than Primeape didn't help either. When Raichu and the water types were banned, things actually just got worse for Hitmonlee, as Xatu and Weezing became the two best Pokemon in the metagame. Hitmonlee was considered a pretty crappy Pokemon early on, having poor matchups against the top Pokemon and being outclassed by Primeape. Around July of 2020, though, a new set began seeing use on Hitmonlee. This Hitmonlee set took advantage of Hitmonlee's very high special defense, oddly enough, as well as the high attack stat. A Rest Talk set with high jump kick, body slam, and rest plus sleep talk was surprisingly pretty good, being able to check Pokemon like Chinchou, Azumarill, Dugong, Ninetales, and Magnemite is one of the few Pokemon to actually be able to switch into the water types and threaten them out. The fact these Pokemon are all very common defensive options means Hitmonlee is granted a larger number of opportunities to switch in and either hit something hard or fish for paralysis with Body Slam. While Weezing and Xatu were still paying for it, it could threaten with Body Slam paralysis on the switch, which would ruin Weezing and force Xatu to rest. Hitmonlee could also threaten Pokemon like Wigglytuff, Sudowoodo, Lickitung, and Statler with super effective damage. Hitmonlee could kinda answer Magmar too in a pinch. This Hitmonlee set fit very well on Power Spam teams, being able to switch in and threaten water types and spread paralysis with Body Slam. This set quickly became popular and established Hitmonlee as a pretty good Pokemon. Meditate Hitmonlee was also re-evaluated, and it did have a few advantages over Primeape. It still had the better special bulk, so it could set up on Pokemon like Octillery and Dugong easier. It could also better threaten Weezing and Gloom, since its double edges or hidden power grounds were stronger than Primeape's. It's also worth noting that Hitmonlee lends Rapid Spin, but it matches up poorly into Pineco and has a tough time fitting it, so it isn't used very much. Hitmonlee could fit onto many teams, having a unique niche that was hard to replicate. Around late 2020, Houndour fighting spam teams became popular, and Hitmonlee was an absolute staple on them, as Houndour could reliably pursue Xatu, giving Hitmonlee a much easier time. It occasionally ran Meditate on these teams alongside Primeape, forming a threatening double fighting combo. On these teams, Hitmonlee checked annoying Pokemon like Chinchou, could provide Body Slam paralysis, and benefited immensely from Houndour. I guess I could talk about the other Hitmon Pokemon in this video as well, as I don't plan to make videos on them, because they're fucking shit. Hitmonlee is just superior to Hitmonchan and especially Hitmontop, since it's the strongest and the fastest one. While the other Hitmons are physically bulkier, they're still not like really bulky on the physical side due to their HP. Their lower power also makes them significantly easier to handle too. The other Hitmons don't learn Meditate, and Hitmontop can't even fucking learn Body Slam because it's just so bad, so teams have an easier time handling them. Unfortunately for Hitmonlee, it too has fallen off as time has gone on. GCNU is far more offensive these days, so the Pokemon that can threaten Hitmonlee are running around more. Hitmonlee is also free entry for Pineco, which is a terrible fucking trait in this tier due to spikes and explosion. While Hitmonlee can paralyze Weezing and Xatu, it still can't break them on its own. The rise of Pokemon that have a good matchup against Hitmonlee, like Fearow and Gloom, doesn't help either. As a result, Hitmonlee can be harder to build and make use of these days.